Really
Well done. Funny that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought you would have done that by
Well, sometimes if I go on meetings, Zoom, astronomy, you know, sometimes art lectures like this, and one thing, you know, to learn new stuff. And there you don't have a record button, do you? So, and you don't see it, and they have to do it. Oh, I don't know what I'm on about. Take notice. To anybody fresh out of YouTube, welcome to our Little Hearts Club. today's thing, I thought bison. We're going to be doing a bison. Can you believe it? Where did that come from?
Exactly. Where did that come from?
It's your fault. You told me to go on paint my picture.
Well, I suppose I have to take some responsibility.
I paintmypicture.co.uk or whatever it is, and I always go to reference images and new images that come. The latest ones come up, don't they? And then I click through, and if it catches my eye, I think there's a big sunset one up there at the moment that I've got to do. Last week's the seascape one, I put that up on as a YouTube video. I got a lot of people saying they like that one. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. I think Carol did one, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So busy this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't done it. I haven't had time.
I like your waves.
Oh,
There or thereabouts, isn't it? I think it's
yeah, I forgot how to do them really, so I just put white on it.
I keep saying that. I think I might have mentioned on my notes to the video, and might have said it at the time. I never ever, well, I've got a rough idea, but there isn't a dead honest specific way of doing the waves. It's just that do a little line and then clean water and let it drizzle it down and then go back. I can remember when I first started out, must have been 2000, something like that, going to Derek Herdson's art group and class for a while, and one of the things, he was a wave, and I looked at it at the time. I thought, wow, this is good, and all the people around me going, oh, that's clever, isn't it? But when I looked back on it years later, I thought, no, wasn't so good like we do. But I don't think I've actually changed the way of doing it from then, and that was, you know, a load of dark color, clean water underneath, and let it drizzle down. Because it's watercolor, you get that soft, transparent feel where the paper comes through. But well done, Cara. That's all like that.
Nice.
The grass looks good as well. Sorry, foliage.
foliage.
Yes, you've even tried to put some light into it as well. Put a bit of yellow. Good stuff. And she stretches her paper. Look at that.
Wow.
I'm really impressed with that. Don't know who that was. That's our Joyce done one.
Yeah, that's nice, Joyce. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I find the waves really hard.
They are.
Easy, are they?
Sky's lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dreaming, isn't it? I called mine quiet. I always call them quiet moment because they are. It's just you and your dog, or you and your kids just having a peaceful moment walking down the beach. It works for me, that. Yeah, the water's always a bit hard. What I have noticed, I think, if it's darker at the back, generally it goes light front, the water is light to the front, dark where it meets the horizon, then the horizon goes light where it meets the water, but darker above. Yeah,
Oh.
so darker, light,
Mm.
dark, light.
Mm.
I can say that now, but I totally didn't think of that last week. Maybe
Just
it's
look-
ingrained. I don't
Look at
know.
your sky on that one, Dave. Just looking at your sky on that one, I can see a lady with her
Oh,
arms
wow.
stretched.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boobies.
wow.
A bit like the old Beatles Sergeant Pepper records.
Yeah,
Going backwards, you get a subliminal message.
really.
Yeah, the same with my pictures. If you look at them in a certain way, you'll get the
Yeah.
subliminal message. I can't even say the word.
Oh wow, she could
She's
be Beauty in the
flying.
Sky.
I
Yeah.
am not. I can't see it, and I'm not going there.
See it? Oh, it's just the minute it came on, I saw it. I didn't see it. I didn't see it at first.
Oh, that's cheered me up. Made my day. I'll put that one on eBay tonight, I think, or later on.
Mm.
See what
Your
happens.
trees are nice, aren't they? I think I missed all that. I was busy rushing in and out last week. Mm.
I just think, hang on, somewhere on there's the thumbnail. I'm not sure, but I think I might have tweaked them. Yeah, there's no. Oh no, that's an earlier one because the figures aren't on that. That's the thumbnail I put on. I just snatched the screen off of the video so I could put something on the YouTube because it says you get a little box to put the thumbnail of the picture on. But we just could work there.
Mm.
Today's not going to be a walk in the park, is it? In Bison, hang on.
Not an early lunch then.
Oh, yeah, I'll take you for an early lunch.
Well, I'll try. What
Oh.
the heck was
Oh.
what?
Oh my
He
word.
looks a bit grumpy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, when I sketched it, I started sketching it, and I thought, well, I'll use a grid, try and get some sort of similarity to the original. And when I started, oh, maybe it's not. Oh, there it is. Well, I thought that's bloody Daisy the pantomime. You know, obviously
It's too feminine, doesn't it?
Yes. And when you get to that, from that to there,
Mm.
thinking, Dave, what's going to happen here? Well, let's go for an early lunch and find out. I haven't planned any. I haven't done any thoughts of planning really. I don't. After framing that thing of Boris yesterday, I got contaminated because that was like a sort of colourful Dorset vibe type picture that. So really, it's weird to convert that into this. It's going to be very, very fascinating.
I've just tried to swipe the hair off that's under his eye off the screen. No.
Yeah, been there, done that. Let's see if I can get something out of this. I've got a spotlight out for everyone. Change my microphone and then splish, splash, blush. Here we go. What do I call this on YouTube? Oh yeah, let's crack on.
Looks a bit blurry because there's a
Yeah.
bit
Yeah, mine's a little bit.
out of focus.
Yeah, just slightly.
Nah, can't be.
No.
Yeah, that's better, I think. This is my eyesight.
Hmm.
Going
Yeah.
a bit closer. We see you've done it now, haven't you? Everything's gone.
Messed it up.
No.
Don't make any difference with or without glasses.
Now I've undone the camera. Oh my god! What have you? Hang on. Maybe. Whoa!
There you go.
Not blurred, is it? What I could do, I'll stop it and restart it. Sometimes that'll help.
Oh, sorry, me and my big mouth.
Well, I'll try it. I'll stop it. Stop the camera and restart it. Well, just where it is. It'd be all right. Yes, it's difficult. Decide which is the right light for it now. That's not. It's definitely darker than that. It's not too bad. Maybe we're affected by the heat. Maybe it is blurred. That's not blurred. That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's
That's the
better.
photo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is much clearer now.
You were just pointing me out.
No, it wasn't just me.
Looked all right to me.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Right.
Dave, I'm going to make a move, and everybody have a lovely week.
Thank
Catch up with you next
Okay.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah.
Just Joyce.
Bye.
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 What I was going to say was, I ordered those. I mentioned last week was they didn't do these anymore, this particular brand, but they had some others, so I ordered it. Still hasn't come. Royal Mail says they got it. So let's see what happens here then. Color wise, I'm not gonna. I did have a laugh with the background. I just sort of splashed it about a bit. I don't know whether it's the right thing to do or not, really. Seems interesting. I'm sticking with my normal range of colors. I thought about washing the palette up, and then I thought, do you need to? Early bath, right? Just see if I can pick out a bit of beiginess. This is just this.
Oh.
Yeah, the dog will be around on the other one.
Light behind the dark. That's what I was thinking earlier. Let's just have a go. So this is just the flesh tones. I can see a sort of a fleshy tone in the over this side of it. Goes right across, doesn't it? Let's have a bit of fun with colour. I noticed one thing, everything drying so quick. I'm always spraying my palette, you know. But then I did it last night, and I came in this morning. This one, I've got this palette here that I sometimes use with other same sort of colours. Just a couple of primary colours in yellow, red, and blue. When I came back this morning, it was bone dry, rock hard. So find some bluey grey.
I haven't opened mine for a couple of weeks. I better have a look.
Do you use a stay wet palette, Chris?
No, I'm still using this sealed thing, and it's still moist. That's very good. Give it another spray.
Awesome. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Bit of turquoise. I've got this cobalt turquoise that I'm just gonna splash around here. Just going to set up. I think it's a good plan just to set up a few base colors. The only problem with doing this sort of splish splash plosh background malarkey is it does make it difficult to find your pencil mark, you know, to find the image later on. So it forces you to certainly paint more al fresco. Sure. I think the real, what should be doing, you've got an alternative, is to pick out the darks first. I know a lot of watercolor painters do that. It makes no difference because I'm going to do it anyway. I just think there's an undercurrent of blue. As I say, this I was hoping that this new variation of this brush turned up. Burnt sienna. Don't know if I'll get away with this brush with that. Let's have a it's just an undercolor of burnt sienna. What I'm going to use is my fan brush. Flicking some burnt sienna on here. Everything's drying, so fascinating. Different way of painting. This is the Langton paper as well that I, as far as I know. I'm taking a leaf out of some of your book by flicking the turning the paper over and using the other side. Quite a nice idea, really. Seems to work okay. Well, trying to make a fan brush. Paint some furry bits. Just to intimate it. Bit of the all about the darks anyway with this picture. So it's dried up that palette pan, what do you call it? A pan of paint. It's not a palette, is it? It's a pan. Has dried off while I've been using it. Worth. Well, I've been going out walking the dog, getting up at 6 o'clock, try and get over there well before 7, you know, 6:45, over onto the marsh, Stampit Marsh around the corner. Just because it's, you can even then, as you're walking back, you can feel the heat starting to sort of generate. I keep telling the dog, go out early so we don't bump into all the trailer park dogs. My dog's not trailer park there. Some of them are rough. He met another St. Bernard's today, and he just he stopped in his tracks and he's looking at this dog thinking, what the what? He didn't move. He just sort of, and the dog, it was really a beautiful dog. Absolutely marvelous. I said to the bloke, I said, you can get a saddle and I don't know, just drive around with it. Certainly. It was a nice dog it was. There's another guy that comes over, he's got 2 St. Bernards, so I wasn't sure if it was. Can you imagine that? I said to that guy, he might listen to me videos. I said to him, have you got a big house? Not really. I'm just messing around with flesh and burnt sienna on here. Just flicking it with the fan brush. Looking hairy to me.
Yeah, is there any chance of a couple?
We're getting on for an early lunch. I want to mix up some nice.
We could have a bit of Chris's cake.
Yes, thank you, Anne. I left it in Anne's caravan.
Oh dear.
What
What sort of cake was it?
That was very lucky. Nice bit of fruit cake.
Mm.
Very nice.
Oh,
Got half
Don't
of the
forget-
slab left.
Don't forget this with some cheese.
Oh yeah.
It's got to
one
be there.
angel cake at the moment.
We were lucky we went caravanning, but we didn't get any storms.
No, it's
We
lovely,
had some
wasn't it?
steady rain on Sunday, but no storms.
It's just as well because the grass was knee high and it was it would have been lovely.
Was a bit long.
It was good fun. Good weekend.
Bit of burnt umber, I think, in amongst this. I don't know why I'm just drawn to the fan brush.
Working
Funny,
well.
isn't it?
Airy, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm trying to find what the Americans call value colors. So if you look at the picture, we've did this before. I went on about it for months. Not painting, just looking at the subject and looking at the color as a value of going strong to weak to middle tone, and just utilizing the brush
He's a new one, really.
to whack them in. I'm still drawn to burnt umber. At the moment. I'll add a little bit of blue to make it a different shade. Heat, so it's not straight out of the tin, so to speak. Well, being watercolor, the plan, well, the scheme is that some of the under, you know, the fancy wash that you do comes through, so it gives you that extra bit of a glow. If I can pick out a bison out of this, I'll be really pleased.
It's looking good.
Well, the key to it are the darks at some point. That's what I want to hear. Because they have that incredibly long beard and that, don't they? I suppose there aren't many left. Oh no, I think they've been repopulating them, haven't they? Because the white man killed them all, didn't he? Well, that's what John Wayne told me. Well, he was doing it. The hell I was.
Just said you mentioned over cheese with it.
Early lunch. I wish somebody'd stop saying early lunch, because I've got early lunch on my. But stop it. You've got too much to do here. Everybody's going rushing off buying fan brushes now. I don't know what this one is called. It might be the Van Gogh one. Terry Harrison. No, it's just a fan stippler. Not the big stuff to come yet. It's in here, isn't it? Right, let's get with the other brush in a minute. In the other palette, I've got a different, more of a purpley shade of shadow. I'm going to use. Easy to talk at the same time as doing this. Just trying to look at I've got a really dark, shadowy tone of. Just want to try and set some scene here. Can't actually see this bit down here. I wish I hadn't seen that picture of Daisy the cow there, though.
Mhm.
Pastels might be nice with this, Carol, as well.
Yeah.
I did that with the Boris one.
What pastel?
Enhanced the watercolor when I was partway through it with more dark here and with some pastels afterwards.
All right.
Luckily that Lasso varnish, well, obviously it acts as a seal to that as well.
Mm.
When my fan brush went then.
All right. I can't hear him.
Mm,
They're all
don't know
chatting.
if that's the one. I want.
Occasionally I can hear him. Half the time I can't hear him.
I need to put my palette down, isn't it? Losing brushes here. There's the one. I think my eyesight's gone. Oh, I just wanted a bit of clean water just to get my shadows blended in a bit. You can even lift a bit off if you want, which is handy. Same old thing. Put in a blob of colour and let the water blend it down for you. No fear. No.
Here.
Put plenty of this colour so I can start blending it in, I think. I think ideally it would be nice to let it go, let it sort of stop it, let it go dry, you know, let it dry off and then add another layer on top. But I'll keep going. It's this nice shadow tone. Just a matter of blending it over. Try not to. It's a classic. Don't paint over his eye. If it, well, we started with a light, you know, pushing in some medium tone values. So now I'm just beefing it up with some stronger ones. It's the reason we mentioned these value tones. The only reason I keep whinging, well, mentioning the fact, it's a good word, whinge, that everything dries so quick. Ordinarily, you can put a wad of colour on, like I'm doing here and there, knowing or fairly confident that you can enhance things by just lifting it off, you know, with clean water and a dryish brush. But with this weather like this, it's drying, it's going to dry so strong into the paper. Lifting it off might not be an option. Got a little fringe here, this cow. Very nice. But even got a hairdo. Need a hairdresser. The guy, there's an American guy called David Lodenberg who does
They say it's really
colourful portraits.
He ran over 3 people as well, which I don't think were related.
He's a sort of master of this technique. Well, if it is a technique, I don't know what it is. I'm just having a doodle really, but he's a definite go-to character. Beauty of people that do it a lot and well, is they give you confidence because they just go squish squish splash splosh, and out comes a figure of a beautiful woman or whatever, you know, which is, I don't know, you can take it one of two ways. You can say, well, that's how I want to do it, or he's giving me the confidence to have a go, which I think is more important. What I do want a nice
Yeah, okay.
pale grey, burnt sienna, bit of the cobalt, maybe. That'll give me a sort of a off grey colour. I just want to see what happens. More water than paint, I think. I'll put some tone over here. Will it help me pull out some features? Maybe. I think I'm a frustrated oil painter, really. So, you know, what you do with oils, isn't it? You just sort of tease things out. More dark. Let's find some real darks then. Add some blue to this. What colour is that? You may well ask. It's Terry Harrison Shadow, which I'm loathed to do without these days. Just a wonderful colour. Go on the edge, take some of the scary bits out. Digital, yeah. Everything's drying. Just want to put some hairy bits on the bottom here. Ooh, fell off my brush. So unusual. Just bring in some darks now. Ba, 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 ba. All it's about, isn't it? No. Funny, isn't it? I'm just, every time I pick up a different brush, I go straight back to the fan brush. Amazing. Is that your camping caravanning done for a little while, Chrissy?
It is for me, yeah, until August, but Anne and Gordon are gadding about as usual.
Yeah, off to the Isle of Wight next week.
Mm.
Ah,
We shall be sailing on Tuesday.
I am
Yeah,
sailing.
thank you.
No, you had enough of my
Really,
singing.
I can't sing, I'll let you do it.
the Isle of Wight is got a place to get tomatoes at the moment.
It's going back in time, really. Going over there.
Mel wants to go there for in September to Ventnor,
Oh, yeah.
because that's where we had our, when we got married, we went there, you know, for a
Oh,
little
really?
break after we got married.
Oh, very nice.
It's,
Mel's getting a bit romantic, is she? Is it?
well, I'm not that.
Is it an
I must admit,
anniversary?
yeah, I must admit, I'm not that keen.
Oh, poor Mel.
Well, no, because it's like the money. If I had the money, I wouldn't.
Yeah, the trouble is the ferry is so expensive.
Well, just staying and staying. The places that it's all changed anyway. The places where we would have stayed, you know, aren't there anymore,
Yeah,
and it's all changed. And
no, it hasn't changed.
the price is just a fortune. I don't think the place where we stayed, which was almost on the beach, is
Oh,
there
right.
anymore. I've Google mapped it and driven all around. I can't find it.
Yeah, no, maybe the hotels and that have changed, but the Isle of Wight hasn't changed
Oh
much.
no, I love the island, right?
Yeah, but we go as a special deal with the caravan club, so they
Ah,
sort of get special prices.
awesome.
But a lot of the hotels do an all-in deal, including the ferry.
You have to get your finger out of your wallet.
Yeah, yeah.
That gets Mel in some of those pictures. This painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Put a little sob story on eBay. Wife wants a holiday.
Mm.
It's a lot of money to us. £1,000. That would, you know, there's a lot of stuff around there we could do with that.
Yeah, we're not paying that sort of money, but then we got a caravan.
Yeah.
I think ours is about 300 or something.
Perhaps I could come with you, Anne.
Luckily, we haven't got room.
I
Especially
don't know.
Good
for
answer.
two.
That's a good answer. I like it.
They'd be fine in the awning.
Give him a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's
Mhm.
looking good, Dave. Don't spoil it. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Be
Yeah.
really nice.
Mm.
I'm just picking out the darks and shadows.
Mm.
Looking really cute.
Mm.
Well, I didn't want to spend too long on it because I've gone off of that type of painting there.
Mm.
You know, to be quite honest, I quite like the Fast and Furious sort of. Well, everybody here likes it because they get an early lunch.
Mm.
An hour early in the morning.
Mm.
What is for lunch today? I do not know. Yeah, all I've got clean water and few spready bits. As I say, the secret of these things, I think, is to do quite a lot, go away, let it dry off, and then come back and look at it again with a fresh point of view. But once you set if anything today, I mean, I'm going to do a masterpiece, but the main thing is to set have a bit of fun with the background colours. Don't get knowing that you're going to add the darks. Concentrate. Don't worry about once you've got the rough, the sketch, you know where your lines are, you know where you're going to put what roughly. You've got the features, the main details. The confident bit is or the thing you need to be conscious of is to know that you're going to have those darks at the end where you can just tease bits in. The key bit is to have a bit of tissue in one hand, and so you can use your brush, clean water, and just smooth things around. Like you can get a bit of the dark and just put a line of colour in and swish it, let it blend. Where's my... Once you've got that dark at the end, at this a further on stage, you can start looking at balancing it up then. Stand up for this bit. Amazing animal, isn't it?
Mm.
Well, absolutely. Oh, I think I've rescued it. I'm just getting a bit. We're using the fan brush. As it goes dry, you can do what you like with it. All right. Just think hair. Always lift it. That's the beauty of using the edge of the paper, isn't it? It's all right for Chrissy. She can use acrylics and just lighten everything back up if she's not too pleased with it.
I've got a lot of catching up to do. Okay, I think I'm 3 behind now.
Well, I think it's one of the things I'm advocating now, isn't it, is to don't get bogged down with it. Just be a bit more expressive rather than. I think someone mentioned it the other day about sort of doing this sort of photographic painting and stuff. It's all very well, but you learn more if you just experiment and have a bit of fun. I think that if you haven't got it, one of the key colours to buy is the two key colours is the flesh and the sand. Because that sand colour and the fleshy tone, you can pop it off anywhere. And it's, for us watercolour people, it's not a proper watercolour. It has an opacity to it. Anything I'm not, now I've come back to this sketch, because I'm not 100% sure about the thickness of his horns, but there you go. So they wear it on that particular day. But you can use the Dune colour almost like you would white. But the beauty is it melts in. Look, I can put it, if I want to lighten up an area, there's a bit just there, isn't there, that could do with it. Sorted. And in amongst the hairs, you could just flick it on. Just if you're that well, you're everyone sees it different, but you can, because this is doing it now, as it's drying, you're getting I think David Lodenberg, who I was watching earlier actually, calls it holidays. Oh, I've got a holiday here. I think it's where you put a wash and it dries and you get a hard line. He calls it holidays. I got a holiday here. I don't want that. But I didn't want it there. Sometimes they're great. Sometimes they look. You get a brilliant line. But using the flesh or the sand, or either, you can blend it in and tidy up any of those holiday straight lines that you don't want. But I just used the flesh on the background, didn't I, at the start? The amazing thing is that I don't even remember how I did what I did. And I've only done it 30 minutes ago. It's gone. But the only thing I will say about using these flesh tones and the sand is because they're not truly transparent watercolors. Be aware, if you put them on your brush, make sure you clean your brush off, because they'll make, as soon as you go into another color, they'll make it go milky. I think they're more of a gouache than a tone. Well, I said we'll have an early lunch.
Mm.
Oh, look, wow. Yeah, I really love it.
It's really good.
He's really fun, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Well,
it.
we can do one or two things. You can have a go. I can get it to work. These chalk pencils are really great if you can get them to work. Just add in a few highlights here and there, yeah. Think cow. Think. Mel feeds the dog beef. I think James buys it and that's a bit off. No wonder he won't eat anything. Actually, he turns his nose up at that. The vet says this dog's taking you lot for a ride. Just fair enough. You can get this stuff to work. You can have add some real nice highlights with it. And it does fade back a little bit. And being sort of a watery, transparent, a watery mix, you can lift it off. Oh, God. Sound effects are free.
Yeah, effective.
Just no, maybe too much. Never mind. Well, we can lift it off while it's, or go over the top of it in a minute. I just think there's a hint of bedevilment under there. but you get the gist. You can spend
Mm.
weeks tweaking it, teasing bits off, bit of finger art, as that bloke says. Charlie Evans. I hope he's all right. I haven't seen any of his. He hasn't posted any YouTube videos for a while. I like him. He's more. I like people that paint watercolor and feel about it the same as I do. It's just don't get too serious about it all. I'm going to make that thicker. There you go. Voila. Make sure you clean your brush off though before you dip it into ordinary paint. Gives it a nice sort of texture, not more of a solid feel. There you go. It's devil.
Mm.
My devil horned beast. I love it.
Yeah, really good.
Early, but the I think I don't know. It's a bit temperamental, experimental, playing with that white stuff. Burnt umber. I don't know why I'm still drawn to burnt umber in amongst this blurry bit. Suppose I could put this one on eBay.
Mm.
Just call it Boris. Boris 2.
Mm.
Well, that'd be fun. Still think that I could get away with, I don't know, some different structures over this side. Just grab a bit of that white. Put that in. There's a bit on the side of the doodle. Last week it was quite fun because I painted the whole picture with the little zero size pure squirrel mop. This week I've done most of the picture with a fan brush. Amazing. Done that before. It's just that bit there just wants to. I just want to make it more interesting. We want it to be like he's out in the foliage, don't we? More than a bit better. Just using the tissue to wipe paint off, put some lines on it with my nail underneath it. With my thumb, sort of gives it a little. Clean water. Normally do this when it's bone dry next day. Could even afford a little bit of burnt sienna, raw sienna. Perhaps make it feel like there's some grassy bits in there. Warms it up as well. And the only other bit is where it meets there. Make it nice and dark. Yeah. There you go. Ooh. Thank you very much, Dave. That's it. I'm peeved. Complete. It'll do. Does it look all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's really good.
Too bad on the screen. I'm not, like Chrissy says, if you start tinkering too much, it'll just
Yeah,
spoil it.
spoil it.
Well, it'll go off.
Well, you won't spoil it.
Well, one of the things I've learned over the years, if Chrissy says something, kind of listen to it. Take note. She's usually invariably right. If she says she can see a female figure in the sky, there is one. I don't. Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like Daisy the cow now. I'm really chuffed about that.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
I've got Boris the bison.
It's very good.
I'm really chuffed with that. For the
Yeah.
either I'm getting better at this or faster, one or the other, a bit both. And I got Boris the Boris. I know which one I prefer. My name's not Nadine. Poor old Boris.
Stick with the
Yeah.
bison.
I'll tell you what, I'll put that one up on eBay, see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would. It's very
yeah, definitely.
Wow, well, we said an early lunch.
good.
Yeah, good.
Pretty early.
Record time, I think.
Mm.
Hey, well, that looks pretty good. Yes. If I say so myself, that's pretty good for just a quick whiz-was.
Very good.
Didn't do a big sketch either. So I'm really chuffed with that. Thanks, guys.
Mm.
That is an early lunch. That's a record.
Yes.
Well, the only thing I could do, or I would say I might do, is if it's bone dry, when it's bone dry tomorrow, I'd just enhance some of the darks. And like I said to Carol just now, maybe add a few bits of pastel here and there.
Mm.
But then again, if it ain't broke, fix it.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, he looks really.
Let's hope ours come out okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
keep it, but if looking at it, making this background on the side pushes him forward. So
Yeah.
yeah.
what I'm saying is, you can still hear me. What I'm saying is, lightening this, I'm just using my tissue. You can see it. It pushes him forward. Makes it look like there's something around the corner.
Mm.
And gives it a little bit of interest. Maybe if it's dry, add a couple of stronger leafy, like leafy type greeny bits in it or something. Just a stroke with a bit of pastel.
Mm.
Give it a bit more. Yeah, well done, Dave. Thank you.
Pat on the back.
Well, any questions? Bloody hell. I mean, oh gosh.
Yeah, it looks good.
That type of painting that you can't hang about with. You just got to say, right. If he was in a field, I wouldn't be there.
Mhm.
Wow. I don't know what to say now. That is a record.
You've excelled yourself.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's those antihistamines.
Oh,
I thought I had hay fever,
all right.
so I just
Do you
added
think-
an
Do you think
antihistamine.
that'd help us if we had one of them?
No, you get them from Tesco's, got one a day or whatever.
I meant for painting.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Oh dear.
嗯 嗯
I've done it deliberately because what I'm trying to say is, well, I sort of, that you don't have to spend, because everybody's saying, well, I got some catching up to, but you don't have to spend all day painting one picture.
Mm.
You can just sort of,
You pass on that.
you've got the right tools, the right colours, and that's where a lot of people go wrong, I think, personally. They have too many colours. I was almost too tempted to do it this morning, but if you stick with the red, blue and yellow, which are the primary colours, and then like I do, I've just got that box of whatever it is, 9 colours in there, and I don't use all of them, but that's it. And Terry Harrison's shadow, that's only for convenience, because it just comes out of a tube and it's a nice shadow starter tone. You can then add extra, if you want it to go lot, you can add yellow, you can add any of the primary colors to give it a bias of one, of a different color, you know, more of a shadow tone that's applicable to what you're painting. So from that point of view, yeah, you've got a lot of colors. I think that's where a lot of people might fall down, is they've got like 32 color palette of St. Petersburg or Daler thing. What colors to start with? But when you boil it, when it comes right down to it, the only colors that you really use is the red, yellow and blue, but just different quantities, just balanced different. So I think as you carry on as an artist, you think, well, I'm using more sienna, burnt umber, rose madder, and some blue. Well, that's the same, using yellow, blue and red, blue and yellow primary colors. You just mix them, but they're different shades of the primary colors. So why bother, you know, you hear it all the time, oh, I use so and so red and I always have this extra, and you think, oh, go away. When do you use that bit of red? When do you use that special blue? Introduce colors later on, like I have over the last year or so, which is cobalt turquoise. You know, I suddenly I watched somebody doing the portrait with that on it, and I thought, that's a neat way. But what he was doing, and what the lessons to learn was, I'm adding cobalt to my palette so that I can mix up shadow tones to paint lighter shadow or different tones, because it's just adding burnt sienna to that cobalt, which gives me a certain shadow. And then you add rose madder to the cobalt blue, turquoise, and that gives a different shadow tone, which is what I did there today. In a way, is adding all the base color, the bit underneath, and then mixing up the dark at the end and adding dark on it. Indigo is a good color for that as well. Gordy's favorite. He told me to buy it, so I bought about 4 tubes of it. I've still got 3.5 left.
To use that up.
It's because it's so strong, you don't need so much of it. But it's great for doing that. I was tempted to use it there today because it's a great color you can add to start with a shadow. So if you want a shadow cut, start with a daub of that and then add your burnt sienna and that in there, and then you get a serious bit of shadow. But as I say, at the moment I've got loads of, but that same with the Terry Harrison shadow that I there's two of them. There's shadow and deep shadow. I think the one that's in that palette today that I was using was deep shadow, but I only added a bit of burnt amber and blue to it to make it what I wanted to anyway. So awesome stuff. Oh, I'm so pleased. A picture out of a.
Yeah.
I nearly said a sow's ear. Oh, a bull's ear. Let's have another look.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
When you come back later and look at it, as long as it looks good later when you look at it, it's all right. Well done. I'm happy about that. And it was in focus. Chrissy's nodding off. Look out.
It was like she's drawing, are you, or painting?
I'm just messaging Kathy. I'm going over to see her in a minute. So
Oh,
just
brilliant.
we finished a bit early, so I won't be as late as I expected.
Right.
I'll stop the video anyway.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you do in my head, paint a picture. Ever since I've come home, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Won't you come on over? Did you have to go to jail? Put your house up for sale, and did you get a good lawyer? Well, I hope you get fair, and I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. Are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? Did you have to pay that fine? You were dodging all the time, and are you still dizzy? Well, since I come home, well, my body has been a mess, and I miss your tender hair and the way you like to dress. Oh, won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Won't you come on over? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the